Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. And today we're going to be doing an Asap Ferg style track. What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Today we're going to be looking at a track inspired by New Level by Asap Ferg. Sounds a little something like this. Now I was going through some of Ferg's music, and you know, this song was obviously one of the more popular ones, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, man, this shit's ferocious, bro. This shit's savage. And as I'm listening to it and paying attention and breaking it down, this is another one of them, another one of them hit records that is just, bro, it is so simple, but it's not basic. And I'm loving it, because this is, to me, this is really the essence of hip hop music. Not like the essence, like the fucking Four Elements, like that. No, like the essence of, like, dude, like, just take something simple, put a banging drum beat behind it, a nice sub, and just, you know, spit your shit. So the first thing that you notice in the track is that kind of low brass, I, you know, on the original track, like, it doesn't sound like there was a lot of layering, but I just thought this was, you know, for my taste, for my ears, you know, I like to layer my sounds, and I figure I could show you guys a couple things. So we have this sound first. Now the scale that I'm in is A sharp or B flat minor, and the way that I'm playing the melody is I'm going from my second note to my fourth note, and then going back to my one on the second bar. So you get that up down up down down. That sound is that one's just the regular basic Hollywood brass from Nexus. Nothing too crazy there. Because it's such a low ass sound, and because this was gonna be an 808 driven track, anything that's a bass sound that's that low, I usually roll off up to like 110, or until it starts to sound, you know, until you start losing the ass of the sound, then you want to back it out. But yeah, you kind of really need that room for your sub. The next sound we went on to is I threw a cello on top of it, because cellos, when you play them low, they're super menacing. Like, if you really want to get a menacing, just a dirty ass sound, fuck with a cello. It's a very overlooked instrument, I noticed, by a lot of producers. And you see, you can just hear that bow noise, just giving it almost like a sizzle. You know, it just kind of helps with the vibe, you know, but you don't need it all the way up. I lowered it down about 7 dB. Now, the next thing was when it came to this sustain note right here, at the end of the melody, I wasn't feeling like enough drama. Like I wasn't feeling it. So I chose to layer it with a sound font. Pretty cheesy fucking sound font, but it's useful for some things. It's this thing called the Runner sound font. Two, just Google it if you don't find it. It also comes in the Trap Legends kit that's on Industry Kits. That's where I got it from. And all I did was I used it to kind of to just stack that sustained note. You see, just that one little layer right there adds, I don't know, just a more dramatic, triumphant feel to it, which is what I felt was necessary. Now, the strings on this one, it's just the same melody. This is, the simple part. This is the same melody as those bass horns. And all I used again was just a simple, this is a stock. I actually think you could get this shit for free. Now is the Contact stock factory library that comes with Contact. And whenever you got a string library, pay attention to these words right here. These are articulations. Tremolo is what gives it that vibrating feel, that little so instead of like just like a straight bow hit, right there, that little modulation. Then the next thing I did was I wanted to make the strings just wide and take up a little bit more space and really be heard and felt. So I went and got a different strings plugin. This is Session Strings Pro from Native Instruments, and I just did the same thing. I turned the tremolo key switch on and panned each one left and right. Wound up with this. Really, really dramatic. And you put it all together. And that's pretty much the basics of the track right there. The only other thing is this tubular bell. In the original track, man, they are spamming the shit out of this tubular bell, but they lowered it down so it's not really super aggressive in your ear. And I'm pretty sure the engineer who mixed this track, he was like, "Why are they spamming the shit out of this tube bell? I'm gonna bury it." But it wound up adding, because pretty much like almost in this track, it's functioning like a 4 on the floor rhythm. So it just gives it that hype ignorant feel. Typically when you use a tube bell, your instinct is going to be to like make a little melody with this. But the thing that I liked about this track was, it does have these parts that are really, really fucking spammy, with just a dong, dong. But what you could take away from it is when you go into that really, really super simple lane, that's where you get a more ignorant and aggressive sound. It's like anything else. If you program and you write the music with a very ignorant flair and intent, you're going to attract an artist who has a ignorant and intense style. So that's something to keep in mind. The next thing that we threw in were these chants. The original, that's him doing his chant. They sampled it in and arranged it, which was pretty cool. So I just got something, and it sounds different from the regular hey, and all that other basic shit that everybody throws in their beats. So what I did is I went through some some chant kits that I have. They're really, really extensive, and just found things that were, you know, different to get into, you know, a more different feel. You know, so for your main verses and hooks, that's pretty much all you got. For the breakdown, we go ahead and we keep that spamming ass bell, and we add in these drones. And that's just the Amiga soft voice from Nexus, and then I stacked it with the drone from Omnisphere, just to give it something different in the high end. And all that is I'm playing octaves of the root note, A sharp, over and over again, just in a real fucking spammy ass rhythm, to keep up with the vibe of the track. And what it does is, by the time you get this verse and then you go down in the action and you get this bomb, 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 it just really like starts to drive home that, you know, that droning, pounding in, just ignorant feel. And then you get artists like Asap Ferg and Future on your track, and it works perfectly with that type of vibe. The next thing we did was the kick. Well, first we'll go with the snare. The snare is everybody's favorite snare of the moment. Sure, all you guys got that snare. I hate that snare, but everybody loves it right now. Then we just had the kick. This is the kick I've been using. I love this kick. The Mafia kick from the Trap Legends kit. And the pattern is pretty simple. The real interesting thing is this roll right here. And the way all that is that's a 16 triplet roll. It's an eighth note. Normally this is what it would sound like. And that's cool, but a good trick is to just lay your drum out in eighth notes, and then sometimes, you know, just go to these different quantize settings, and then go ahead and slice them up and see if it winds up working out. Most times it will, and it'll sound really fucking cool. The next thing we had was the hat, and this was just a straight hat. This wasn't like the typical synthesized, you know, noise hat. This one you could hear a little bit more movement on it. Kind of give it not really a live feel, but just different from you know, your regular standard trap. And then last but not least, we got the 808, and all I did was, you know, just copied and pasted this up here, put it on the root note, and there's no movement in this 808. It doesn't play a bass line. It's just straight ignorant the whole way, the same note. Do 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 do, like that's it. Now, of course, being that this thing is so simple, you just got to take this format, and then you could go ahead and switch up your drums. Take hi-hats out, change different hi-hat parts, put an actual bass line in. There's a lot of things that you could expand your creativity. So you could just kind of take this, use it as a format, and it's really easy to take something like this and make 10 brand new beats off it. So I hope this inspired some creativity, kind of showed you another just glaring insight into why I say keep it simple and don't be basic, because that's really the DNA of making these hits, man. So this is Concrete Zebra, Craftmaster Productions, and we will see you on the next one.